Hey guys, welcome back to Bryan's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. And today we are going to be heading towards western Montana up near the Idaho border. This case was actually brought to my attention by a viewer who is a private investigator up in Montana, and she just asked me if I'd be willing to cover this case, so I started researching it, and that's why I'm bringing you this case today. And we are going to be discussing the disappearance of Rebekah Barsotti. Now, Rebekah went missing in July of this year, 2021, and she does still remain missing to this day. Rebekah was 33 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is roughly 5 foot 5 inches tall, weighs about 135 pounds. She's got blue eyes and sandy reddish hair. Rebekah also does have a few tattoos. She has a tattoo of a snowdrift on her right foot and ankle, and a tattoo of a hummingbird and flowers on her left rib cage. Now, she had been living in Montana since 2007, but she had recently left a marriage and had moved from Missoula County to her own place in Missoula. And she was working at a place called Planck, which is a local wine bar and restaurant, sort of upscale. And apparently she was doing really well there. And her parents reported that she was, just trying to start over and venture out on her own. And they describe her as being a very tenacious young woman and very smart and very outgoing. Well, her mom last spoke to her daughter at the end of July. She had sent her a care package full of Christmas ornaments, dog toys, and other things. And ironically, the package arrived on July 20th because her mom did the tracking, and that's the same day that her daughter Rebekah went missing. Rebekah's parents actually found out from Rebekah's estranged husband. However, this was because the deputies of the Missoula County Sheriff's Office had contacted him after some of her belongings had been found. Her parents, who are from here in Virginia, immediately left and flew out to Montana that evening. And as they got there, they learned from locals and some of her friends that apparently, she had just gone out hiking with her dog, which was apparently something that she did that was very common. And she went out hiking with her dog Cerb, and there's lots of places around there in Montana, where she lives. There's a place that is called Alberton Rock, which is along the Clark Fork River, which apparently has a little beach, and it's an area that Rebekah was known to like and go to. So after talking with some of the locals and organizing various searches, they made a bunch of flyers, put them on car windshields. They started finding information out from the Missoula County Sheriff's Department and the SAR teams that had been working the case. And according to what the sheriff posted and talked about in his press release, Rebekah was last seen at the Town Pump gas station in Superior roughly around 2:15 p.m. on July 20th. Her vehicle was subsequently found on I-90 near mile marker 71. Apparently there's a rest station there, and it's varying between reports, but the vehicle was either found at the rest station or parked along the side of the road. And then later, the authorities found some of her belongings, which were seemingly piled up in a neat pile right along the banks on this beach on the Clark Fork River. Her car keys, her cell phone, a dog leash, and her driver's license, credit cards, and the remote to her dog's e-collar were all found on that beach. The authorities started working with the theory that her dog, Cerb, had jumped into the water and then Rebekah had jumped in to save him. However, this kind of comes up with some issues because, as her parents pointed out, why would she take the time in an emergency situation to take her keys, wallet, everything out of her pockets and put them on the beach? Now, it's also plausible that she had already had them out. Maybe she was swimming too. It's hard to say. However, on July 26th, they did find the dog, unfortunately, and it appeared that he had somehow drowned in the river. According to the Missoula County Search and Rescue, the river there is a very chaotic stretch of river with deep areas, some 90-degree bends that can very easily pull you under. Now, this search continued with over 2,000 volunteer hours, and they had about 30% of Missoula Search and Rescue's fuel budget for the entire year, which began on July 1st of this year, was solely spent on the search for Rebekah. So there's been a lot of effort put into this search. Special dive teams were brought in along with 2 Bear L helicopters to back up and do an air search over the river. However, based on all this, they now think that Rebekah isn't in the water. Again, this is always hard because it's speculation, but now the Missoula and Mineral County authorities have scaled back their searches. I mean, this was over 2 months ago. They are still searching, but the main search efforts have been scaled back. During these efforts, the Missoula County has covered over 103 river miles and provided over 236 hours of searching for Miss Barsotti. According to a statement by Mineral County Sheriff Mike Toth, he said that they are looking about once a week, and a friend of Rebekah, Melissa Jarosevich, said that she has been privately searching on and off the river for the last 2 weeks, and various individuals have plans to continue looking on their own via floating down the river, hiking, possibly using small drones, operated planes. According to a statement Rebekah's mother, Angela, made to Dateline, was that they know the location where she was, not only because where her stuff was found, but because there was video on her phone of that area. They don't believe that she's in the water, but authorities are kind of on the fence about that. They still think that she probably jumped in the river to save her dog. The community has really pulled together on this. They had a beautiful candlelight vigil, and they have been wonderful in volunteering and helping for the search. And one thing I found interesting, that Angela, Rebekah's mom, said that apparently other families in Missoula County are going through the same thing, and they offered to help and lend support, which to me suggests that, you know, there's been other disappearances in that area, which I'm going to look into. I didn't see anything in the recent news, but it's definitely curious. Another possibility might be the opposite, that Rebekah had put her stuff down and was getting ready to go swimming, jumped in the water. Maybe she started struggling, and maybe the dog realized this and jumped in and tried to save her. I mean, that's a possibility as well. I mean, dogs are very intuitive, and I mean, it's just hard to say, but it's also kind of bizarre too, because apparently this is a very popular area. There's a lot of people around, and her parents are just, you know, begging the public to please come forward. They believe that somebody must have seen something, and, you know, for whatever reason, a lot of times in cases like this, people are hesitant to come forward. But really, I urge you, if you do know anything, please come forward. I mean, these families just go through hell not knowing. Another thing I found kind of curious about this case, and it could just be my mistake or not understanding quite the locations, but according to the information, where her car was found on the I-90 near 71 mile marker, and where her belongings were found at the Alberton Rock area of the river, it's over an hour and 10-minute walk. So I'm wondering if that was just a planned thing, like she planned to walk her dog all the way back and then back again, or if maybe it's closer than I'm thinking. It's also possible that there's back roads or paths that she could have taken. If anybody is more familiar with that area and has more information, definitely let me know. The family has set up both a Facebook page and a GoFundMe page. The Facebook page is called Find Rebekah Barsotti, and I'll have a link to that in the description, along with other information as well. As we near the 2-month anniversary of her disappearance, obviously the family is just desperate for answers and just praying that they can bring her home. Just to recap a little, Rebekah is 5'5", she weighs 135 pounds, she has blue eyes and sandy reddish hair. She was last seen on or around July 20th. No one has seen her since July 20th. She was last seen at the town pump in Superior around 2:15 on July 20th, and then later her vehicle was found at a rest area by mile marker 71 on Interstate 90. And then her belongings were found on the beach near Alberton Rock along the Clark Fork River. If anyone was in or around those areas during this time, around July 20th of 2021, and you have any information you think could help, no matter how big or small, please contact the Mineral County Dispatch at 406-822-3555. My thoughts and prayers go out to Rebekah, her family, her friends, all her loved ones, anybody that knew her, all the search and rescuers that are trying to bring her home, and just hoping she can find her way home safe one way or another. I want to thank everybody for watching as always, and please be respectful in the comments if you choose to leave them. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the background music, and I will see everybody in the next one. Take care. And for those that stuck around to the end, thank you. I just wanted to let you know I've got some ideas that I'm working up for the merch, and I'm also going to be launching a Patreon page soon where I'll be doing live streams and other things that we can discuss, and I'd like to get your feedback on that as well. And that will all be coming in the next month or so. I'm just getting everything put together and working on the details for that, but we can discuss it too, and I'd love to hear any ideas you all may have. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again.